Welcome to the 25th episode of the Broken Pictures podcast / YouTube show, where we talk about the top 3 things in pop culture that you may have missed this week.
Just so you know, there could potentially be spoilers for your favorite TV shows, movies, comic books, and or video games. You have been warned. This is
The FOMO Show. Hey, this is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
This is Quin.
Once again, we'd like to say thanks for joining us by YouTube or podcast. Hello to all of our new watchers or listeners in the States and internationally. And a spankle thank you. A special thank you to those who are returning.
Very special.
If you want to keep the conversation going or support the show, you can, of course, comment below. But you can also find that information in the episode notes or the website at www.broken.picturesno.com. Also, leave us voice messages or questions that we can play on the show. Go to www.anchor.fm/the FOMO show to talk to us and leave those messages. YouTube viewers, please like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon.
Ding, ding.
For notifications of new videos. Podcast listeners, please leave us 5 stars in your podcast app. Special notes. Happy birthday to the one and only Dylan Law. The big 4-0. Happy birthday.
Snap. I'm sorry.
Dude, now everybody knows.
Because your Facebook didn't already tell everybody.
Not everybody's on Facebook, right?
We literally, all 4 of you, if you don't like us on Facebook, follow us.
Yeah.
How would you feel about the show going live? Would you not like to suffer through that? Do you prefer that we edit out all this other crap? Or do you want to see all of it?
Please.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I've just about decided personally that's what I want, just because I want
Every
my
day
life back.
at about 10:20, I hear, I can't wait till we go live.
I'm so sick of editing. Because like this week, like it's going to come out today on the day, like literally last week's is coming out today. And I apologize that it's been so late. July is just a hectic month for us. And I've had things back to back to back. And like last week I did a commercial. As soon as we finished taping here last week, I had to run to Fayetteville about 45 minutes away and go do a commercial. And then I was there Wednesday and Thursday, which I'm super excited about. It's just that's time that I can't edit. But I'd rather be there, no offense, but I like both things, but for different reasons.
But you don't like the editing part of this.
Yeah, I don't like the editing. I
like
like this part. I love this part. The editing
part
part
is
is what I don't like.
Editing.
It is.
Yeah.
At first it
Or
was fun.
if you don't want us to go live and you want us to keep it like this, why don't you just give us some money? That way we can pay an editor.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I forgot that's a
a
job.
thing.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, that's what he does.
Yeah.
Which is probably why you're sick of it.
Yeah, because it's every day. I forgot I put this on the floor last week. Now there's ghost dog hair all over it.
Yeah, throw it into my coffee, please.
You have a lid on it.
So, what are you watching, playing, reading, listening to this week?
Yes.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. What I got last Friday. It's really fun.
Man, I
But-
love the first 2.
Yeah.
Is the third one just as good?
Yeah. There's not as many costumes,
Really?
but it's still really good. And they add in a lot of characters. Obviously, like the TV shows and the movies kind of influence this one more than it's influenced the other Avengers game. The Defenders are in there. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist. And they, got it comically right. Like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are married. And yeah. So
Yeah.
it's all
Sad we never got that far in the Netflix series.
And they're non-canon now, but that's a whole other thing. Let's move.
We'll get into
We
that
watched
later.
Immortals last night.
In 3D, yeah, and as excited as I was to watch that, to see what I thought about Henry Cavill as Superman, it does not hold up. So I'm gonna have to say miss it. I was extremely drunk apparently the first time I watched it because I used to just sit down and drink and watch movies, but yeah, it does not hold up.
You don't have to miss it if you want to see Henry Cavill with his shirt off a lot. and the guy who looks more like Orlando Bloom than Orlando Bloom does.
Yeah, Luke Evans.
He played Zeus, so he had his shirt off a lot too. There's a lot of abs in it, so if you like that, don't miss it. But if you like good quality movies, miss it.
Yeah, it was like, you know what? We're gonna make a 300 movie, but it's gonna be about Greek gods, but we're gonna remix it.
Because, and it's also gonna suck.
Yeah, because like Poseidon was Zeus's son or something.
Actually, they didn't even explore that. He was just there with his other children.
Yeah, and they were all the same age. So
that's right. I've seen this movie, and I'm like now replaying it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huh. At one point, they get covered in oil and they go to like shower, and her makeup is all still there, and her red robe is like still just plain old red, like bright, vibrant red. And it's just
the water washes the oil.
I'm a little confused about physics right now.
Yeah, definitely stylized.
Different than ours.
Super stylized.
Yeah, but I mean, Henry Cavill looked good, so whatever. I've been watching Friends a little bit. By a little bit, I mean every chance I get.
Yes.
Anything else? Anything else y'all doing?
I started watching Akira, and I didn't get through it. I fell asleep because it's a long one.
Forgot what else I was doing. I'm putting together a campaign for D&D. So really like 2 campaigns, because but we'll talk about that later. All right.
What do we do for pizza movie night this week?
Well, it's Tuesday. Was this week the Never Ending Story?
No, that was last week because I divulged a little too much information about myself.
Oh gosh.
And shoot, what was it this week, man? Oh well, I'll put it below and ping it. Yeah. So
we're skipping that, right? Huh? Oh, we're doing this, but not that.
The number 1 movie of the week is Lion King, of course. So it's 52% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is 89%, which average that out, it's about what you're going to find if you ask somebody. So like half people I've talked to is like, yeah, it was a great movie. I loved it. Mm-hmm. So the other half is like, Nala was trying to play Beyonce and she ruined the movie for all of us. Wow. And I'm like, okay. Man. So... But yeah, it just kind of depends on who you ask, I guess.
Yeah, I heard that Seth,
Get Smart,
Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah,
we watched Get Smart.
Get Smart was what we watched. Thank you.
It's a movie night. Sorry, I've been trying to think of it.
Yeah. So I heard that Timon and Pumbaa stole the show.
Of course they would.
Yeah, just like they did in the original movie.
Yeah, because that's why they're on a T-shirt.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
What's his name played Timon? People are already talking about like, oh, he needs a award.
Oh, really? I didn't know he could sing, but I mean, we always finding out the actors are triple
I follow him on Twitter, and his Twitter has been blowing up.
Yeah, because I mean, his I guess his, I want to say stereotype, but his pigeonhole, what he's always cast as is this annoying yelling type person, you know.
You say that because he was in Parks and Rec.
Well, he also does Billy on the Street, and that's like the same type too.
There's a show on Hulu he's in. I can't remember the name of it. He's there with a redheaded lady.
Kathy Griffin.
No.
God, no.
Close.
I really hope she's
together.
Not in anything.
That's a whole lot of.
No, he is a good supporting human being. And I would not.
Have you seen Billy on the Street?
But in that show on Hulu, he's not a good supporting human being. But yeah, Seth Rogen, of course. The second I found out he was gonna be Pumbaa, I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be my favorite thing in the movie.
Then John Oliver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Difficult People.
That's it.
That's Julie Klausner.
Julie Klausner. That's the other lady. Then they got
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
I heard that the voice performances were awesome.
They were good. Yeah, they all were.
But the animation, is not animated.
It's just real.
Yeah, it's like watching a Discovery Channel pick where they perform The Lion King. That's the argument that I've heard.
I'd pay money to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I feel like it's overall a good movie. And, whether you like the new one, I feel like older people are going to like the older one. I'm older people. And younger people, like my child, will probably like the newer one. Mm. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
Kids these days.
Young whippersnappers. But now, moving on to the top 3 things.
Yeah, so we're gonna skip from now on the new releases because going live going forward, and by the time these get out, it's irrelevant. So going live, and I'm gonna set it up on the website to where you can go see those on a regular basis. So look for that.
Top 3 things.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's super hot in here, so it's kind of hard to get into. Ooh.
Yeah. So the top 3 things for the week all kind of evolve around Comic-Con and things that happened over the past 3 days.
Yeah.
4 days.
If you've been living under a rock, Comic-Con happened this past weekend in San Diego, International Comic-Con, the big daddy one.
The big daddy.
The best.
The celebration has come and gone. But so the first thing we're going to talk about is something that, we all kind of are intertwined in because we do a whole nother show on this show. So the trailer for season 10, right? Right.
Yeah.
Of The Walking Dead dropped. And it was it gave me chills actually. I was really excited watching it.
Me
so
too. I had some pros and cons. I liked a lot about it.
What was that face?
I literally only don't like everything about it.
And that's the point of view she brings.
There's one thing that
there's
one thing that pretty much is no matter what else happened, the only thing I remember from it is this thing, and I did not like it.
What was the thing?
Yeah, probably the same thing everybody else
It's a spoiler, right? And
it's in the teaser, so it's not spoiler.
Well, I'm just saying, hey, if you haven't seen the teaser, go watch it. I'm about to say a spoiler. King Ezekiel and Michonne kissing.
Oh yeah, that.
I can't think about anything else. I did not like it.
Well, in the comics, they're together.
Don't care.
Yeah.
The comics are done, so I really don't care.
Yeah. So
just why? If you don't give me a really good reason and really play it out, I'm gonna be so done.
It's probably
go ahead.
Moment of weakness, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that could be all that it is at all, But
well, why would you put that in the teaser then? If it was only one
for
thing,
controversy to get things stirred up. That's what teasers do.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying why would you only have that one thing? Just get it stirred up and then drop it. Well, that's exactly something The Walking Dead would do.
Yeah, because the teasers are always better. Here lately, have been better than the actual show.
Yeah. It seemed really confusing. It was a lot packed in, and after the death of so many people, I just really felt like you should have taken the simple route. This was too much. This was
pretty packed,
really packed full, and a lot of it was quick. It was just a bunch of. It's you can't do that. We wanted something that was
Did we?
I did.
I mean, I understand that. It would have been good to see kind of. What's the word I'm looking for? Some substance, not substance, but kind of where they're where it's really going to be going.
Yeah.
Because it was different shots from different points in time, and they're from different points in time.
Yeah.
So it's
and they all can conflict, and it's you have been building this up to be confusing already, and to be a full packed season, we didn't need you to pack it into a minute and a half full of crap.
I disagree. But that's the good thing about this show is that I disagree. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great teaser because it showed a lot of aspects of what to get excited about. As far as like Carol Darrell, of course, Michonne.
Exactly. It was a catch-all.
Can I talk?
No, it was a catch-all for all of the people that had issue with last season. Like, oh, we're shipping this, we want this. Where's Oceanside? La da 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 da. They took a list of all the things that we complained about and packed it into one teaser.
I don't think so. I'm excited to see Oceanside is someplace. It looks like they're spending quite a bit of time at Oceanside. I like that it's a change in environment, and we really haven't seen a whole lot on the beach. And I thought that was refreshing when Tara went to the beach and went Oceanside and all that kind of stuff. Even though some people complained that it was unnecessary or whatever, but I thought it was a nice change of pace. I like where they've got the shields up and they're fighting back the walkers. So the walkers are
Aaron's arm.
Yeah, Aaron's arm. I like that. I like they're like release the Negan. I like that. So I'm kind of down with the fact that Negan might be the show lead moving forward. After of course Daryl is. Of course we've got the top three. Michonne, Carol, and Daryl, which, we haven't even mentioned that, Denai Guerrera officially announced that she's leaving the show in season 10. But she's going to play a big role, and she came back. They even filmed her stuff out of sequence so that she could play a major role and then not just have to fit her in where they could. And of course, Carol and Daryl, they're really playing that up. The only issue I had with the footage of that is that the whole... why don't we just eat and not talk? Like the heat, that was totally Norman Reedus. That was not Daryl. They're so, him and Melissa McBride are so close that it's almost like they themselves come through rather than watching Daryl and Carol. You know what I mean? I get that he's going to let his guard down a little bit more in front of Carol or whatever, but it just
we also don't know how long they've been out there.
That's true. And they talked about running away. And of course, they're not going to run away because they're the stars of the show. But
kind of looks like it.
Yeah, it does. So, that's some. I thought that it threw enough bait out there to get you hooked. And then
it threw enough bait out there for everyone to get hooked.
Which is what they're supposed to do, right?
No, they're going to release 50 more trailers.
Oh, yeah. Which are more centric to certain plot points,
They better be.
And then it kind of confirmed a little tiny thing.
What's that?
At the very, very, very end. Michonne with Lucille.
Boom, Lucille's back.
Yeah. She's had it the whole time.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. And it's the same shot from Negan. That's amazing. I love that.
Something that I also brought up, or I was a little confused about, I guess, is they're obviously jumping around a lot. Bless you. I didn't mean to steal it. Sorry. Unless you don't like this.
It's gone. Sorcery.
They've also been jumping around a little confusingly because when we see Judith stab the walker on Oceanside, first of all, why would you let a child? Second of all, I don't give a crap. Last time she almost died.
But it was snow. It's different.
Anyway, you got grown man little Judith, obviously has not aged, and then we see Rosita with almost a Judith baby. That baby was grown.
Well, they did say there was going to be a little time jump, and this is the thing. One of the arguments I have with the fans is everybody's like, "Oh, another time jump." It's like. Everything we watch has time jumps, whether it's weeks or months or whatever. Yeah, well, I'm not saying you in particular, but some people are just like, oh my gosh, they're just another time jump. Why can't we just rah? But I think the problem is they keep announcing that there's going to be a time jump, and so it seems like it's more than it is, because everything we watch, movies, TV shows, there's always time jumps,
Right, I get that. But when you have something that's so excessive, because it does feel excessive, when this is something that time jumps are important for how your characters have progressed, how the world has progressed, because it's not modern life. It didn't just continue like normal. You missed people die. You missed people turn into walkers. You missed this. It feels like you're missing so much when it's post-apocalyptic.
Well,
it's a little bit different.
I know last time there was a huge time jump, and they're going to go back and fill in the gaps, and that could be interesting. But when you're writing, you don't want to be like, and so went to the bathroom, and show every moment of everything. You jump to the exciting parts in the plot. You know what I mean? In the story.
I disagree. I don't like it when I'm reading a book and I'm like, damn, this dude never goes to the bathroom. So
yeah,
that's fine.
Taking a leak and the zombies came in.
That would be way more interesting than some of the crap they've shown.
In the show?
Maybe.
Probably.
I don't think that's happened in the show.
No.
I don't think we've had someone using the bathroom and get eaten.
Like, that would be a really...
To never see somebody go to the bathroom. We sure see people having sex a lot.
A lot. No one gets eaten. It's like zombies are like...
People
proper.
watching
like,
sex.
snap.
Yeah, the zombies
Wait,
hold on.
Okay, they're done. Let's go.
They made a baby. All right, let's eat the dead.
Yeah,
Get it?
but I thought it was exciting. I thought it seemed like they're playing up the comedy a little more. It's a little bit more lighthearted, which seems a little too on the nose. But
And seems so aggravating after they're like, oh, the horror that is last season, and it was bull crap.
Yeah,
and now they're like, no, we're done with that.
there was a it was a quick scene where Carol is seeing Henry, and like you see real quick, and he's in the back.
Didn't
Crack
catch
of the
that
door,
either.
you know.
Didn't catch that either.
Yeah. So I mean, there are
much to
things
catch.
going on.
It's hard to see everything unless you watch a breakdown and they're like shot for shot, shot for shot.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I didn't.
I watched it a couple times though.
Okay, then. Enough said.
Yeah.
Moving on to more Crisis.
And now, on to more Crisis, like Lydia said. Because this fall, the Arrowverse, DC's TV universe, is going to have their biggest event, either from their movies, TV shows, and just like in general. And it's something Marvel hasn't done yet, so they beat them to the punch. Congrats. But Crisis on Infinite Earths is the crossover for this season. They announced it at the end of last season. They've been setting it up, even with everyone's season finales, was a setup for Crisis. And what they've announced is the Superman from Superman Returns is coming back.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
What, for those who don't know, what is Crisis on Infinite Earths?
So, I don't know how they're going to do it. But Crisis on Infinite Earths in the comics was when basically Darkseid came and was going to wipe out all life with the anti-life equation.
And this is DC Comics.
This
This is
DC
Superman,
Comics.
Batman,
Yep.
Wonder Woman.
And he got a hold of the anti-life equation, and every hero from every universe came together in like giant platoons to fight his armies and him to stop him. And it was basically the greatest thing. Yeah, but
in game and DC.
yeah, but like better. Because
What?
yeah, well, so you got Superman, Brandon Roth from Superman Returns returning to be, and the Superman that he's going to portray is
That's a
Superman
big deal.
from it is
Because he plays another character in this.
he does
already.
he plays Adam, and that's going to be, I can't wait for that little exchange, but he's going to be Superman from the I believe his Superman's going to be from Earth 3, which Kingdom Come happened on that Earth.
So these are parallel multiverse type things.
Parallel multiverse. Tom Welling's coming back as a Superman from another Earth.
Really? I didn't know
Yes.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So they're having different versions of several different characters.
That's Smallville Superman. For those
Which,
who
you
don't
know, if he's coming back, they might get everybody else who was in the Justice League from Smallville to come back,
All right.
which will be fun. Flash from Earth 90, which is I cannot remember the actor's name, but the Flash from the 90s TV show.
Oh, wow. Wow.
He's Jay Garrett now and on Earth 3 in the
I see his face.
Arrowverse, but he's coming back as
The velvet suit.
Yep. And he's going to be back again. He was in the crossover last year. He's coming back this year for Crisis on Infinite Earths, as well as they're mixing in the DCEU.
We're talking about John
Really?
Yeah.
Wesley Ship.
Yeah, that guy.
John Wesley Ship.
They're mixing in the DCEU. So it's not going to... They said they there might be an actor or two that show up. But there's definitely going to be, like, as there's some, like, things going on, you're going to see, like, images of the Flash and Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all, like they exist in that world.
Wow.
But they don't want the actors to come in and overshadow the ones that are the TV actors.
Understood. Except, yeah, some of them, it wouldn't matter.
Some of them wouldn't. If Jason Momoa just kind of shows up and says, all right, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
And if Ezra Miller showed up, I think the TV Flash would still be good.
Yeah, they would just high five and start running. So
yeah, or skating, whatever.
Not. Linda Carter. Linda Carter.
Oh, Linder. Listen, Linder.
who played the original Wonder Woman, is coming back to reprise her role as Wonder Woman.
That's awesome.
The 1960s Robin, I can't remember his name at the moment. He's coming back to be Robin. Yeah, like all these.
Wow, like Adam West Robin.
Adam West Robin is coming back to be Robin. And like, it's canon that Batman died in that universe. He didn't want to become Batman. He just stayed He just stayed Robin.
Wow.
So
that is freaking cool. Like, they're just like tying it all together.
And I'm like, oh, you're gonna make me cry at the end of all this.
This is huge.
And it all culminate. I can't say the word. Culminates in the ending of Arrow, because this is the final season for Arrow, and they're giving him like the biggest send off that they could possibly give him. So.
Yeah, because he started it all. Like, that show started it all. Like, it's even named after him.
Yep,
Lydia doesn't care. But
this wouldn't
you want me to fake it?
Like, this wouldn't have been happening without him, and so they're like,
these are all the girlfriends while the boyfriends are like, oh my gosh, Tom Welling, what?
Yeah.
Who's Tom Welling?
Normally I'm with it, but I just don't follow DC.
Understand? Yeah,
but it's
I don't follow the TV universe, and I'm halfway in on the movie universe.
But I don't know. If you're going to watch it, I will just say watch the final season of Arrow leading up into it. Because the past few crossovers, they've had them kind of like their own little pocket. Like, they happen, but they don't further anybody else's stories besides the crossover story. But this one's going to have, like, the episodes after. Because Arrow will end at the crossover. And the episodes after for Supergirl, Flash, and Legends will all deal with the fallout from Crisis. So.
You really want to get me excited. Tease that the animated series is part of the multiverse.
I mean, they didn't say no.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Justice League Unlimited.
But
is that why your background is Teen Titans right now?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If the Titans
OG
show up,
Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go.
I didn't say Teen Titans Go. I said
or
Teen
the
Titans.
Titans. Yeah.
Even if the Titans
I've got to
show up, I'll
specify
freak
for
out.
listeners.
Oh my gosh, it's like
That would be awesome.
There's so many possibilities of things that they can do, and I'm really just excited.
Yeah, because the
about it.
multiverse, you
can do
anything,
whatever
literally.
you want.
Like, oh, I've crossed over and now I'm animated. Which, I mean, well, we could get into that in a little bit. Marvel's kinda, sorta doing with their What If series.
Yes. But, yeah, did y'all have any questions about Crisis?
So many.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, it sounds super exciting. Like, I wish that I had gotten in a long time ago. Like, the reason I hadn't gotten in is because
I'd be broker than I am right now.
Full.
I'm broke.
Yeah.
So we would literally would owe hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to the movie people. So I'm thankful that you did. Anyway.
Okay. So yeah, that's about it. Crisis is this fall. I'm gonna say November. They haven't had a date. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for it. All they have to say to me is that Christian Bale's voice just goes like one time, and I'm fine.
Oh, the Nolan version. They've teased that on the show, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
One of the shelves of the characters were like walking by a shelf, and there was Bane's mask or something.
Mm-hmm. Like Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
Tom Hardy's. Yeah, she didn't know Tom Hardy was Bane until like a week ago.
His head ain't that fat.
He put on some weight. Some aviator coats.
Mark Hamill's coming back to reprise his role as the Trickster, but there was like he did like a little teasy thing saying like I might, you might see me in some white face paint, and I'm like, don't tell me you're gonna be the Joker too.
Yeah.
Like I can't. So
the most iconic Joker voice.
Oh my goodness, yes. But yeah, that's all I have for Crisis. I suggest everybody tunes in, or if you don't, you have like months to catch up. So catch up on all of them. It's gonna consume your life.
Years.
It's only like a combined total of 20 seasons of TV shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple TV shows.
Yep.
Like what, 7, 8, like that.
Five
TV shows. Not as many, but still. Yeah.
Yep. On to number 3, and the final major thing that happened in Comic-Con this past weekend. Marvel.
This is the one I'm super excited about.
Phase 4.
I'm gonna hijack this one.
He just took it over.
Excuse me. So we've had radio silence from Marvel since Infinity War, and then we got Endgame. Even on the name of Endgame, we finally got Endgame, and then we knew Spider-Man 2 was coming, Far From Home, and that came out, and there was a little bit of spoilers of what happened in Endgame. After Endgame, and it teased what goes forward in the MCU for Phase 4, and it actually was like a pivot point of the end of Phase 3 and the beginning of Phase 4. So, now, fast forward to Comic-Con, which happened last weekend, and this is all the information that we've been, not all of it, but a lot of the information, because we've still got D23 coming next month. So plan for more information to be dropped, because they didn't even get into all of it. And he teased, Kevin Feige, head of Marvel, teased at the end that they would get into more. They didn't have time to get into all of it. So kicking off Phase 4 will be Black Widow. And we've seen some set photos for this. Looks like it was rumored that the Taskmaster was the big bad. And they've confirmed that. And Andy, I forgot the guy that does the concept art for Marvel, released a photo of Black Widow fighting Taskmaster.
Cool. You know the timeline, or time when it takes place?
It's going to come out March 1st, May 1st, 2020.
When in the timeline in the movie where it is.
So it is going to take place after Civil War. And so it's going to be, they're saying that it's going to be a back in time, like a flashback. But we all speculate that Black Widow is coming back, and she's, because if you watch Endgame, you know that she died and she was traded for the Soul Stone. And she's
you also know that Cap returned all of the stones, including the Soul Stone.
Yep.
Yes, I'm like, if rules are fair, return the Soul Stone, a person should come back to life. But I don't think they come back normal.
Never do. They never do. That's basic witchcraft. You can't come back normal. So, which is why I think she can't leave that dimension.
And she's also stuck back in time, technically.
Right. So she hasn't aged like everybody else has.
Yeah.
Also, David Harbour, who plays, Hopper in Stranger Things.
What did you say? Stranger what?
I said Stranger Thongs.
What's on your mind?
Shoes?
Stranger Things.
What?
Thongs,
Okay.
flip-flops.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Stranger Things, David Harbour is in Black Widow.
As Red Russian.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people have some beef about, but we won't get into that.
Wow.
Yeah, his name is Alexei, which is a major character from Stranger
Oh,
Things.
no, don't do that to him.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what people have beef about.
Hopper
They're
was
thinking that they
left.
connect somehow.
Yeah,
gonna die.
if Stranger Things teaser, Hopper could possibly be in Russia.
And if he is in Russia, and then he's
people are trying to connect everything.
And
If this is one all giant
Obviously.
interconnecting thing that he's still alive, I will be impressed. Congrats. 'Cause that's...
Yeah, by the way, Stranger Things and Marvel. Woo! Not for real.
But yeah, so do y'all know about Red Russian?
Don't know.
not.
Okay.
I know at Comic-Con he was wearing a Captain America shirt, and they were like, "Oh," and one of our favorites from Nerdist, Jessica Chobot, was moderating the panel, and she was like, "Hey, what's up with the Captain America shirt?" You know, and he's like, "Oh, we have problems with this man." You know? And so if this goes forward and some connections with, you know, there could be future potential fights between him and Captain America, whether that be Falcon America or if Cap comes back or whatever.
Either or, because I mean that's basically what he is. He's just a Russian-made super soldier, made in a different way. And I don't think I can't remember if his powers last is like our Captain America's powers are forever, but I think his powers are temporary. Like they can turn them on and off.
So like with a Winter Soldier kind of code.
Kinda, but it's not like mind control. It's like
so what are his powers? He's got super soldier serum type thing?
Kinda. It's more
David Harbour, baby, you're gonna have to beef up a little bit, okay?
He got big for Hellboy.
Yeah.
So he
but so his powers are the same as Captain America's, just they don't last. Like
it's not forever.
It's not forever. It's like Our Man. Y'all know who Our Man is? Okay, so in DC, Our Man's a guy who like takes a pill, and when he takes the pill, he has like superpowers for like an hour.
Yeah.
And he can like double up on them, but then it'll strain his body more, and that's basically what the Red Russian is.
Because they've always tried to redo the super soldier serum, and it's never come out right.
Yep.
And there are several people in the Marvel universe that are a result of this.
Yeah.
Abomination in the DCU.
Hulk. I think at one point, didn't Black Widow have a version of the super soldier serum?
Yep. That
made her stronger and faster. So we might get into that.
We'll see.
Yep. So yeah, that's a big deal, and that's going to be and of course Taskmaster is the big bad, and this leaked set footage say that she's fighting him, and they're moving similarly, and he kind of mocks. He has like a photographic memory, only it's for movements. Like he can see somebody do something and imitate it, right?
Shining Gun, but
what is it?
Shining Gun. It's a whole thing. That's a anime reference, but yeah, he has a photographic memory, and he can just like anything he sees once, he can just do it again, which is why the same thing won't work on him twice. And even in freaking video games, fighting that dude's like a task. Taskmaster. But yeah, because like you fight him in Spider-Man, and like you literally can't do the same move on him twice, because he'll just like, nope, you already did that once, try something else. So, but yeah.
So that's a pretty good bad guy for Black Widow.
Yeah, because she can't use her regular moves. She has to think outside the box.
Yeah. Oh, and another big announcement is that it's going to cover the Budapest storyline. Remember the teaser between her and Hawkeye was like, this isn't like Budapest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hawkeye might make an appearance, a secret appearance. We'll see.
We'll see.
And next, we get into the Disney Plus. I say universe maybe, but it's interconnected. So this moving forward, in the past we had the Marvel TV universe that was loosely based around the MCU, kind of like parallel to the MCU, where they're putting an end to all that. So much so that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is ending after next season. That's it. They are moving forward. The TV universe is included. So much so that the stars from the movies will be part of the TV universe, and it will be completely interconnected. And you'll have to watch the shows on Disney Plus to get some of the backstory, even though in the movies you could probably watch it and not have to watch the show. Yeah, that would be smart. You don't want it to be too interconnected, even though it would, give some more insight.
Into it later, because there's one that they said you have to watch.
Yes. So the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and even the logo for this has Cap's shield on it, even though they're still calling him Falcon. So I mean, technically, it's supposed to be like Captain America and Winter Soldier.
But it's in between both of them, so I think.
Yeah, and even on stage when Anthony Mackie brought the shield out, he gave it to Sebastian Stan and said, "Here, try this on." Nah, give it back. That's too long. So that could be a tease within itself that they kind of pass the mantle back and forth. But that's going to be interesting to see because they have a really fun chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah.
And Baron Zemo is the big bad in the purple mask.
He better be.
He is.
I mean,
they did it like he interrupted them with a transmission, and at the end he put his mask on.
Oh, cool! I didn't see that. All
Yeah,
right,
I didn't see it, but enough descriptions are out there.
Purple leopard skin mask. Love it.
Yeah. So Zemo, I thought he was the one with the purple mask with like the little crown.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not have a crown in the video?
I didn't see the video.
Okay. He's super flamboyant. Love him.
Yeah. Purple mask.
He's like his main weapon is a rapier, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you can get more flamboyant than that.
He's not French either, so.
No, he's super German, super racist, but it's okay.
Yeah, he's the one from Civil War that tried to split up Cap, the Avengers, set Cap and Captain America.
Which is why they couldn't do that back then.
Intro to his character.
For those of you that don't know, the type of weapon he just said is the little like fencing looking sword.
Yeah, it's not what your mind probably went to.
I thought it was like that big long thing that Death carries around.
A scythe?
Oh, that's what I thought it was. Yeah. So that's why I looked up. I was like, that's not right. That's not flamboyant at all.
Yeah, that's kind of dark.
Yeah, I was like, something matching up here.
Yep. So next in the movies, we've got the Eternals coming, or just Eternals. And this is the one that it's coming out. I'm sorry, fall 2020 is when Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming out. Eternals comes out November 6th of next year, 2020. That one stars Angelina Jolie, Selma Hayek, Richard Madden, and a couple other people I'm not too familiar with. And these are kind of like the gods-ish of the Marvel Universe.
I think this one might fail. Like, I'm kind of iffy. I'm not iffy on
I'm
it.
worried.
I'll go see it, but I feel like for the average moviegoer, it's a bit much.
Mm.
And it's like they tested the waters a little bit with Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's
because
kind
it's weird.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like that's how it's gonna feel, but over the top.
Yeah,
and that
it's supposed to be like an epic and cover tens of thousands of years and go.
This is the one that I'm actually really excited about, though, because Lauren Ridloff from The Walking Dead, the deaf actress that plays Connie. Wait, is she Connie or the other one?
Connie, yeah.
She plays Connie. She's in it.
Mm-hmm.
So really excited about that adventure for her. And then the guy that he was talking about, Richard Madden, that is Rob Stark from Game of Thrones. And then I can't say his name, that one, but he has become super popular, and I'm super excited for him to play in it.
Ooh. It's Kuma, and then an A and an I.
He was in
Twilight Zone.
He's in Twilight Zone?
Yeah. He was in the premiere episode. Kumail Nanjiani or something like that.
He was in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And he was a stand-up comedian at first.
Yeah. Love his stand-up.
So, he's the comic relief.
Excited to see him in it.
The one guy who plays, not Earn, but Paperboy in Atlanta, he's in it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, and he was also in Get Out, wasn't he?
Yeah. Not the same one.
Brian Tyree Henry?
Yeah, that one. That's not, but he wasn't in Get Out. The other one was. That one right there.
Lakeith Stanfield?
Yeah, Lakeith.
Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield was in that.
And he's in the Eternals?
Mm-hmm.
Not Lakeith. Paperboy.
You're getting these two people confused. He was in Get Out. He was not. He's in...
so I'm thinking the big dude.
He's in the Eternals. Or Eternals.
Yeah.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Okay.
Yep.
Now that we got that sorted out.
Huh?
Okay.
No.
I was thinking he was the friend. Okay.
No.
Never mind.
He was Paperboy.
Sorry.
That's cool.
You talking about the friend on the couch?
Yeah.
No. That was...
Well, from the Comic-Con from on stage from that far away, I thought it was the same dude. My bad.
No, that is...
Okay.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Lil Rel.
That's not him.
I don't know why. I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
My bad. The hat, dude. He's always wearing the hat. Sorry.
Okay.
Whatever. We gonna
Like
let that
Bernie
slide.
Moving on from the Eternals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're this kind of kicks off the idea that Phase 4 might be a little too woke because there's some,
a little too woke.
Yeah, even if that's a thing, because there are some gender swapping roles.
So yeah, there were. That's one thing I was looking at. I was like, we'll see how this works. And that's the other reason I feel like it's gonna be
like Selma Hayek's character is a gender swap, I think.
Yep.
What do you mean?
They're playing the opposite. Like the characters that they're playing, Hayek's character is a woman. Connie's character is a dude.
Why are they doing this?
I don't know.
Oh, so that's why I get it.
Well, that's the argument, that it's a little too woke, that it's just for the sake of
doing it
to make more women in the thing. Yeah.
Heard.
But anyways, we'll not get too deep into that. So the next one in the lineup is coming out February 12th, 2021, and that is Shang-Chi. I keep saying Shang-Chi, but they kept saying Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
And
the Legend of the Ten Rings.
The Legend of the Ten Rings. And shout out to my Arkansas film buddy, Dewey, farmer that broke this information on Reddit during an AMA with Kevin Feige and asked about if we'd see the Mandarin coming forward in more MCU films, and he said yes, we're doing that. So this is it, and they've got a really strong actor playing the Mandarin. I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now.
That's fine. It's okay. I wish they would have just did an Iron Man 3 before he died.
For real.
But it's fine.
Yeah. I even though it was, a lot of people were not happy with Iron Man 3 because of the faux Mandarin. I still liked it.
Chue Lung.
Oh, they're going young Mandarin for a minute. Oh.
And he might play, like they may have remixed Shang-Chi's dad with the Mandarin, so it might be the same. That's one of the theories.
That's fine. I had a theory, but my theory is too obvious.
Too obvious?
Can we still
that Tony's not gone? He's coming back? I would love that.
I would like that too, but that's not happening.
Yeah.
That the Mandarin existed, but he didn't have a body because he had the Makawan rings at one point, used them all at the same time and destroyed his body, so he was just a spirit. And for him to get his body back, he needs all 10 rings again.
And is that a comic storyline?
Too obvious, though.
Is that a comic storyline?
That does happen, yeah.
Okay.
So...
yeah, but so he's been around in the MCU for quite a while now. And my only thing is, how are you going to do the Mandarin and not have Tony Stark?
Or at least an Iron Man. I don't care. Just not War Machine. An Iron Man.
Yeah. But we'll see how that plays out.
Because that's an Iron Man bad guy.
That's his arch nemesis.
Okay.
That's like having Norman Osborn or Venom and not having Spider-Man, which is why everybody was like, well, how are you going to do Venom without Spider-Man? But they did it, and yeah.
Moving on, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. One other thing about the guy that's playing the lead role at Comic-Con, he had been cast in this role for like the total of like 4 days, and he had like jumped around, and he handled himself pretty well. And I like this guy, so cool. He's gonna do well. And they're moving away from the whole exploitation, like the Asian exploitation films type thing. So they're, I guess, which is why they didn't call him the Master of Kung Fu type thing. So hopefully they'll do the martial arts right and not like they did in Iron Fist.
All they have to get is, they just need one choreographer. The guy who plays, I can't remember his name, but the guy who plays Sonny in Into the Badlands, he's one masterful.
Is that,
why wouldn't you get Jackie Chan?
Because he's retired.
No, he's not. He still goes on, what's his face's show all the time.
What's his face's show?
Harvey. Steve Harvey show.
Oh.
He's on there all the time.
That's not the same.
Have y'all seen that though?
Sitting on a couch talking action film.
Listen, a choreographer doesn't have to actually do the moves.
So next we've got coming out in spring of 2021 on Disney Plus is WandaVision. All right, she's got to run and take care of something, so me and Quin are going to take it from here. It's time to geek out.
Okay.
All right, so WandaVision, is a big deal. It is, and we can talk a little bit about what it leads into next. But there was some some of it's supposed to take place in the 50s, which I think is part of the WandaVision storyline. From what I understand, it's based on a comic, and the aesthetics of the logo are from the WandaVision comic, from what I'm hearing is that Vision has like created a family for himself, and it's a family of androids or something to that effect.
He does do that.
Yeah, but the actual storyline is supposed to be contemporary. It's supposed to be taking place after Endgame in the correct storyline, but there are probably going to be some time travel elements because Vision's dead.
He is dead.
And we got to get him back somehow.
This whole thing just made sense to me. Oh wow, this was happening. Okay, so this is about to be really weird. Like they're about to bring what I'm assuming. Take a super grain of salt. They're gonna bring in Vision, that like older Vision, like how he is in the comics, the power source in his head, not the Mind Stone. Mm-hmm. That he is self-sustaining, that made a family for himself back way when. And has his daughter and everything, and then they're going to end up meeting Wanda from the future somehow, and then she's going to try and reconnect with him, and then they're going to end up connecting, and now they have a family.
Okay, so, because in the comics they do have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
Because magic and
magic and technology.
Stuff. Yeah, the merging of whatever. But this is going to have to get weird because current Vision is dead. Where are they going to get Vision from? Another universe?
Another universe.
Yeah, because they've talked about how it's not like Back to the Future where when you go to the past, if you can't bring your past self into the future because then that past self is not present through that entire time. Yeah. In this multiverse thing, all it does, if you were to go get your past self and bring yourself to the future, your past self is still there. You've created an alternate timeline where that happens, where you're not there, but the you that you remember was still there through all the time. You've created an alternate version of yourself. So the whole time travel thing where you can't touch yourself, because matter can't occupy the same space. That's not a thing because you are 2 different versions of yourself.
Yep.
All you do is you've created another version. So, which is why they could take the stones from other timelines and bring them back. But it doesn't really necessarily understand why they had to take them back if it just created another timeline or whatever. But
because it would have messed up those timelines, and they couldn't risk leaving them there in their timeline. Still, even with Thanos gone, it's not safe to have all 6 of those things.
Because there's still alternate timeline Thanos out there who want the same thing. And if he discovers that you can cross timelines to get what you want, then...
that's game. They got to fight 6 Thanoses at once.
Yeah, that's where it gets super weird and just like into territory that... Like, I'm super into Marvel and MCU, but that gets into territory where I don't care to watch it. That's too complicated. It's too much. It's too weird. It's too out there. Yeah. So I can't imagine the average moviegoer
just saying like, oh, this is why are there 6 of him?
Yeah, this is just too much. It's too complicated. It's too weird.
Yep.
They're not going to be there for that. I don't know if I would be there for that type of thing. Like in a what if story, we'll see. But in the regular timeline, that's just like, just stop. Because you've basically painted yourself into a corner. So now we've got to use weird stuff to make things happen, which is part of the issue that I had with Endgame. But we'll get in.
Oh.
Yeah.
The time travel for Endgame just kind of took bits and pieces of what made sense from other time travel things and just use it as they need be. Because truthfully, when Tony was in the room with another Tony, one of the Tonys should have just disintegrated because that shouldn't have been impossible.
Well, I mean, according to the time travel theories in the movies that we know up to that point, but with the new multiverse, all that kind of stuff, they can be together. It's just because they're two totally different versions of themselves that would never meet, you know. But go watch Neil deGrasse Tyson's Star Talk. He did a talk on a YouTube video on the time travel and stuff in Endgame, and it cleared it up a little bit for me, but it's still weird. And so WandaVision is going to get weird. Her powers in itself are just weird. Like, that is her power. It's just weirdness, kind of, right?
And I guess they're gonna explore what all she can really do a bit more, because her, like, mind control a little bit, you know, telekinesis, move things, and then energy blasts is all we kind of really know that she can do for sure.
Mm-hmm. And they've been kind of leery in the MCU up to this point to call her Scarlet Witch, but now at Comic-Con they're just like Scarlet Witch. So seems like they're leaning into that now that they have the mutant element, and it's going to start leading into some of this House of M stuff that people are speculating that's how we're going to get mutants. Because up next is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, coming out in May 7th, 2021. And this out of everything, this connection storyline, WandaVision is supposed to lead into this one, Doctor Strange 2.
Like directly hardcore.
Yeah, and like kind of set it up. And this is what I'm excited about the most, this interconnected story, because Scott Derrickson is going to do more horror elements. This is supposed to be Marvel's first horror genre movie. And it's still going to be PG-13. I mean, think about it, The Conjuring was scary as hell. Still PG-13.
Can get real scary in the Doctor Strange universe.
Yeah, and in the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah. And it is co-starring Wanda Maximoff. Oh, Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. Oh. So they are going to be in it together. He's a warlock. She's a witch. It's going to get weird. It's going to get crazy.
Some demons. Maybe a Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm. I think they've all possibly confirmed that Nightmare will be the primary villain.
I don't wanna. I'm cool. I'm real cool on all this. Traps you in your own, like, he brings your actual nightmares to life and you have to fight that. I'm cool.
Quin doesn't like horror films.
Nope.
He's punching books.
So yeah, that's all right. It's gonna be good. We'll see if
He's
I go
like,
see
move
it.
on, please. This is different, so that's what I'm excited about. This is that it seems to be like the standout, unique thing about Phase 4.
Oh, it's not the stand. It's the unique, but not the standout. We haven't got there yet.
Oh yeah, you're right. So up next is going to be Loki, spring 2021 on Disney Plus, and the logo for this one is kind of weird. There's like 4 different fonts. So this one could play with the multiverse as well, especially coming off of behind Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And the fact that this Loki is already a alternate timeline Loki. This is the one, if you've seen Endgame, you know that the Loki from after the Battle of New York from Avengers 1 escaped. And all that still happened as far as we know, but this one created a divergent timeline, and that's what we're following with this Loki. And this Loki hasn't gone through all of the character building that we saw in Thor 2 and Avengers and Thor 3.
Realizing he's actually a good guy.
Mm-hmm. This is still the one that wants to take everybody down.
Yep.
So that's interesting within itself, is to see this different type of play on Loki going back, because we liked all versions of Loki, so this could be more of bad Loki
with eccentric outfits.
And he has the Space Stone.
Yep.
So eccentric outfits, like more than just like reindeer games.
Yeah, like it's this big old giant. There's like fur on the top. It's a long green, dark green Loki
set photo.
Coat. Yep, set photo. Him walking through the street in the 70s, and it's like got like some look like leopard print on it, and it got some gold lace in there. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous looking outfit. And are you a pimp, by the way? Like, so many questions.
Yeah,
really ready.
His other name is Pokey.
Pokey.
Pimp Loki. I'm not going to get into the implications of that, but Pokey. So anyway, this one is going to get weird, and I like
Phase 4 is all weird.
Certain weirdness, like this type of weirdness, I think it's fun. Like you get into multiple timelines and multiple versions that I think the plot gets lost in those, and that's where I get
unless it
weirded
is your
out,
plot somehow.
Huh?
Unless it is your plot somehow.
Yeah, and even if it is, it's still because this whole I don't like the whole actions don't have consequences and you can do whatever you want because it doesn't matter thing, because that just throws plot out the window, because it's like, oh, I can kill this bad guy and turn around and boom, there he is again, and nothing matters, you know, just you can just do whatever and then you erase it and go back, and it's like, why even watch it, you know, because nothing sticks. That's my thing. It's like that's why some of the comic stories I don't really get into.
I get you.
Like I want to see lasting effects, lasting consequences, real consequences for the characters. You know what I mean? So we'll see where that goes with Loki. What's going on with that? How that plays in? Because
who else shows up in his show? Mm-hmm. So
yeah, because you know we got to remember that these are interconnected with the MCU. They're not like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or what were some of the Runaways or some of these other spin-off ones that we've had in the
still gonna happen? Or still going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I know they're ending Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I don't know about the other ones.
Okay.
But these TV shows are part of the MCU. They are basically mini movies. So the next show we're going to get on Disney Plus is called What If. That is going to be summer of 2021. This one is fun. Like the weird stuff, like with the timelines, the alternate weird stuff that I was just talking about with no consequences, in its own compartmentalized thing like this, like the What If, where it doesn't affect the overarching super plot. Yeah, the overarching story. I like that, you know, where it's like it's a one-off type thing. It's like, well, what if this happened? Like one I remember from being a kid, like I was super into comics, but you could hardly find them in the small town that I lived in. So there was like maybe a rack at Walmart that had like maybe 8 to 10. You know, and you'd find them at Walmart or Brookshire's, whatever. And it was in the 90s where comics were everywhere. And we didn't have a comic shop, or the closest one was like an hour away or whatever. I had no clue where it was, much less getting my parents to take me. So we would just basically get what they had in. And it was difficult following a storyline because sometimes it was there and sometimes it wasn't. You know, like I remember when they redid, not the Avengers, but... oh shoot, what was the one with Namor and the original Human Torch?
Oh snap.
The World War II storyline. I don't know. They revisited that story and it was a mini series. I want to say there was like 4 or 5 in the series. And I got up to 3 and I couldn't find the 4th one. So I have no clue how it ended, you know, because it just wasn't available where I was, you know. So one of the ones I remember seeing was like that it was just like blew my mind. It was a what if, and I didn't even know this existed. Was like, what if Wolverine was the king of vampires? And it was just like, what? Wow, that's so cool, you know. So you know, it's like, what if Wolverine and Blade were the same person, or you know, that type of thing, or the Daystalker, or whatever. So this what if thing, like Kevin Feige said, there are several storylines that they thought were good storylines, but they just ended up not pursuing for whatever reason. This will explore some of that. So that's super cool.
Have you tried looking at the images that are in there?
That's what I was going to say. If you zoom in, it's not just a red outline on the logo. If you zoom in, there are teases to other stories. And there's a Captain America zombie in there. So the zombie storyline was one of the hugely popular ones in the comics.
Which I understand why they didn't do that in the movies. Because it got dark.
And I haven't seen Spider-Man, but apparently there's a nod to that in one of Mysterio's illusions.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I wonder if he has him eating Aunt May.
That's weird. So, What If is going to be super fun. These are stories that don't necessarily connect, and it is going to be animated, but the actors will reprise their roles as their voices.
Which is going to be the best part about it.
Yes. And Jeffrey Wright, that many know from Westworld, several other movies that I can't think of right now, has an iconic voice. He's going to play the Watcher, who is kind of like probably akin to like the Rod Serling of the Twilight Zone, where he kind of narrates, starts out and like, what if, da, 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 that would be super cool. It's like Marvel's Twilight Zone, the way I see it.
Yep.
And I'm super excited for that. That's probably one of them. This in the center here with the WandaVision, Doctor Strange, and What If. That's what I'm excited about the most right now.
Yes. Stuff that's far out. It's exciting, but it's far out there.
Yeah. And it's far out, man. So up next, we've got Hawkeye, which will be a Disney Plus show in the fall of 2021, which will explore him passing the mantle on to Kate Bishop.
Aww.
Yeah. And I saw a teaser of like the stylistic choices of the thing. It's like the bullseyes and the yellow and the blues. It's a certain style from a certain comic writer. And I can't think of his name right now, but it gives away what storyline they're going to be taking.
Yeah.
But I can't think of it, whatever. But there's supposed to be more grounded stories, more human stories, less weirdness, more human stories,
Well, that makes sense. He doesn't have powers. He's just a really good archer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's super spy.
That. Yeah.
Which I don't think they explore enough is that he's a spy too,
Yeah.
Hopefully they get into some of that in the Black Widow and tease more of that, set that up. But they also said, Kevin Feige teased that they will explore more of his time as Ronin in this too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was just killing people. All right, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, and they will not pass the mantle on to his daughter like some people thought, because in Endgame he was showing her how to shoot or whatever. It will be Kate Bishop. And Lydia is back. Da-da-da. We just talked about Hawkeye and how it's going to be more grounded stories and less weirdness, and passing on the torch of Hawkeye to Kate Bishop, his younger protege, who some people think is the best version of Hawkeye. Would you agree?
I like Clint Barton.
Yeah? Okay. All I know is Purple Suit Clint Barton and the MCU version, of course.
Did we already talk about Doctor Strange?
We did. Did you want to go back on that?
I just want to say that I'm excited for it. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
You don't want a horror, or you don't want...
Don't want a horror.
I'm interested to see how they do it.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Me too. Yeah, super excited. And in later episodes, hopefully we'll get into more of this as more information comes out. Like I said, D23 is coming up, so we'll likely do coverage on that type of thing and we'll unpack this more individually, more granularly, I guess, as more information comes out. The big one, another big one coming out next after Hawkeye. This one comes out November 5th, 2021, and that is Thor 4, Love and Thunder.
I have a hammer.
I'm
trying to think why I don't have a hammer.
Everybody else has a Mjolnir.
Why don't you? Yeah, for real. So this one's a tad controversial, a little more controversial than Eternals. For whatever reasons. I am super excited about it because even just the logo itself makes me think 70s rock and roll. Yeah, it's like this makes me think hardcore. Oh shoot, I just lost it. What was the big cartoon in the 70s, Heavy Metal.
Heavy metal. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
That's what those are the feelings I get. It's like, this is heavy metal stuff. And Taika Waititi walking on the stage like, woo! Like, I am super excited. He's fresh off the heels of trying to make the Akira movie, which for whatever reason they've shelved, and now he's moving forward on Thor 4. The announcement of this came out like a week ago that he was going to do this, and they are like full steam ahead in this. And they are exploring it seems less of Thor actually himself, which some people have an issue with, because we're coming off the heels of Fat Thor, but some people had an issue with from Endgame. And we are exploring more of Queen of...
the Mighty Thor?
No, Queen of Asgard now.
Oh crap.
Valkyrie's character, who in the comics is bi, and so now they are making that canon in the MCU, and they said that she'll be looking for her queen to rule Asgard with, and so people have issue with that, but that's comic accurate. So
can we secretly hope that Tessa Thompson actually does find her queen? Because the actress Tessa Thompson is also homosexual. So it really they did a great job casting.
And she's in tons of other stuff. Yeah. Westworld.
Neat.
She's amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna feel really bad if she has a long-term girlfriend. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to insult your relationship.
What else? Oh,
so
the Mighty Thor.
The Mighty Thorus.
She's just Thor. But yeah, they got Natalie Portman to come back. I didn't think she was ever going to come back.
For MCU nerds, this is a big deal because she was done.
She was
so done.
Super done.
Yeah, and for her to walk out on that stage, and she seems super awkward about it though.
She's just an awkward person though also.
Yeah. She held the hammer and just like... But I mean, it to me, if you watch some of the Comic-Con footage, like a lot of people just seem super awkward. But get them in front of a camera and they come to life.
Yeah.
So yeah, Natalie Portman, who is amazing. I mean, super strong actress. Probably one of the reasons why, from what I understand, why she left the Thor franchise in the first place was that she just didn't want to be just a love interest. And that's kind of what her character was reduced to. I mean, Thor 2, they made it kind of about her, where the ether was in her and that type of thing. But it was just not that strong a movie. And I think that turned her off,
Well, and also it wasn't enough about the fact that the ether went in her for a specific reason. It was because she was Thor's girlfriend and she just happened to be caught up in this place. Like,
some people are complaining. Like, I even saw like a local news outlet on Facebook said that she came out and said, I've always had a little hammer in me. And they were just like, gag, all female Thor, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's not even what she said. She said, I've always had a little hammer envy. And so they just, I don't know, it just kind of painted it as like, oh, here we go again, the female blah blah blah,
But it's like she's a comic. She's a whole comic. Her comic ended last year. She's the Mighty Thor. She's probably gonna have cancer now.
And Taika Waititi has confirmed that she will be called the Mighty Thor.
Yeah, because that's the only way to call her. That's what else would you call her? Thor?
Yeah. And I mean, if you're not familiar with the Thor comics. Thor does get weird, and Thor is out there, and they're like, if you remember the first movie, whoever wields the hammer, if he be worthy, will get the power of Thor. Right? If they be worthy, it could be, watch your pronouns. So, whoever can pick it up will get the power of Thor. As we saw in Endgame, Captain America wielding lightning and thunder and all that stuff. However, I'm a little confused on. In Thor 1 and in the comics, when Jane Foster gets it, the outfit. Why didn't Captain America get an outfit?
He didn't want to, because he could have. Like, he could have smoothed this one.
I wanted to see
and
that.
Then, he would have got a cape and everything. But
the wings match up. I mean, come on.
Do they call him Captain Thor? Like, how?
He's just Thor. Every time he picks up the hammer,
Thor.
he just keeps his normal outfit on and just uses it. But
so it's a choice of the user.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jane Foster, one of the things in her storyline was that nobody knew who she was. It was just a female Thor, and that was one of the mysteries. Her face was covered by her mask, and
right up to here. Yeah,
nobody knew who it was. And from what I understand, it was kind of like the more she used it, the more it actually killed her because she had cancer, and when she used it, it would wipe out her chemo. So it was like, it's a really heroic story of a person choosing to be a hero at risk to themselves. So
that's what I'm curious about, if they're gonna give her cancer,
which would make sense of all the stuff she had the ether in her, and she could be going through all that. I could see that. It would make sense in the MCU.
But then that's the other thing. Like the MCU, like Spider-Man, no one knew who Spider-Man was until. Has anyone seen Far From Home?
No.
Okay, I won't say anything.
But we know.
Okay.
No, we don't.
In the MCU, there's basically no secret identities.
There's no secret identities. Everybody knows Lydia's covering her ears. But there's no secret identities. Everybody knows who everybody is, whether they've been on some sort of press conference or somebody said something, or they're just in the military, like Captain America and War Machine and Black Widow and Falcon and and Doctor Strange. He wasn't in the military, but they knew who he was.
Yeah.
So,
and like even in the comic, people who knew each other and had worked with each other on a regular basis still didn't know each other's secret identity.
Yeah.
Even like among the Avengers sometimes.
Yep.
But in the MCU, it's not really a thing.
It's not a thing.
That's the only complaint I really have because.
Well, they all live together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, with heroes like Spider-Man, it is advantageous to have a secret identity, which is why during the Civil War comics, when he revealed himself to be Peter Parker in front of everybody, why it was such a big deal, because he had never done that.
Yep.
And to just kind of like nonchalantly do it in the MCU is kind of like, it's a ruined opportunity. It feels like.
To like make it bigger for Civil War 2, which is probably going to hopefully one day happen with Captain Marvel.
They've got the character. Well, except the Iron Man,
We can find one. We can find a suit of
I mean, technically they could just go get an alternate timeline Tony Stark at this point.
And he can wear the exact same armor he did in the comic.
Yeah, I mean, just bring him back and there's no consequences. Nothing lasts. Yep. Yeah, I don't like that.
Your universe is out of control.
Exactly.
You need to be, that's all you gotta do.
Yeah, hopefully with this Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, they're putting a bow on it and bringing things back into what makes sense. We'll see. They're fixing the broken timeline and that kind of thing. Or not timeline, but universe or multiverse or whatever. So anyway, that technically is the end of Phase 4 with Thor. And if you notice, there's no Avengers movie in here.
Because you got Thor and the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Well, they've said that Thor may be in Guardians 3, but it won't be called as Guardians of the Galaxy, even though I thought that would be awesome.
The whole movie, that's what every time they meet somebody, he's like, I'm Thor, and these are my Asgardians of the Galaxy. Like, the whole time
he's got to
just say that.
He better. He's got to. So that technically is, and a lot of people have noticed that this is only a 2-year timeline, which is the smallest phase that we've had going in the past. I think Phase 3 was like Phase 1 was like 5 years, and the others were like 3 to 4 years long. Phase 4 is 2 years, which is short. It seems like they're kind of keeping it short so that they can then launch Fantastic Four, X-Men. And so there's several that we know are movies that we know are going to happen that Feige teased at the end. He said, we didn't have time to get into Fantastic Four. We didn't have time to get into Mutants, which he said was synonymous with X-Men. He didn't really mean to make that a standout thing, that they were separate or anything. And then we know that there's a Black Panther 2 coming. We know there's a Captain Marvel 2 coming. Guardians 3, of course. And a big one that seemingly nobody knew about was Blade.
Oh yeah.
Mahershala Ali. Now, there are 2 major things that matter about this casting. One, it means that the Netflix shows are not canon anymore because he was a bad guy in Luke Cage, right?
Yep.
Standout bad guy. Everybody loved him. That was probably one of the best bad guys in the entire like Defenders universe.
Yep.
2, nobody knew about this because one of the reasons is because coming off of winning his second Oscar for Green Book, Mahershala Ali called up Marvel and was like, "Hey, can I have a meeting with Kevin Feige?" Kevin Feige was like, he said, when Mahershala Ali calls you for a meeting, you take it. He said he walked in, had the meeting, and they were shooting the breeze. And he was talking about how big of a fan he was and what he had done for him in the past and stuff. And they're just kind of like small talk about Marvel in general. And Mahershala stopped and was like, "Okay, Blade." And Kevin Feige was like, "Yes." He's like, so like the meme going around is the Mahershala cast Marvel. Marvel didn't cast Mahershala. So yeah, and Andrew, one of our friends, he's been a guest host on here, posted that the entire time he was watching Alita Battle Angel, that he was just like, Mahershala as Blade, please. So, and also we've got a little connection with Mahershala too, with True Detective. Not phase 3, season 3 that filmed here.
God did a lot of stuff.
He has. He's getting around, and everything he's doing is not like just like under the radar stuff. Like usually people come out and they'll, especially after Oscars, they'll go do some indie stuff and here and there and that kind of thing. But he's just
going.
Man, I don't know when he sleeps. But yeah, so that is a huge thing going forward, and Wesley Snipes has been involved with the development of this Blade movie or TV series. We're not sure what it's going to be going forward. It's probably not going to be in phase 4. And there are also some, I don't know if it's a rumor or whatever, but I think Kevin Feige said that they almost went in and just announced phase 5 as well, because phase 4 was so short.
But it's not small, it's just compact.
Yeah, there's a lot happening for sure, but a lot of it is TV series,
which is why it's probably so compact, because I feel like doing TV is easier than shooting movies.
Is this all going to be on Disney Plus, or is this going to be on TV?
Well, Disney Plus, yeah. Half of the 10 are Disney Plus, so we're really only getting 5 movies out of it. But
still 5 movies in 2 years?
Yeah, that's true.
That's still a big deal.
2020 and 2021.
Ugh, that's like two movies every 6 months, and then one sometime in 2021.
Yeah, not including all the Disney Plus stuff that's happening in between and all that.
Y'all gonna have every single one of my paychecks for the next 50 years, huh?
Yeah. So, right. Yeah, so D23 coming out, I want to say next month, right?
Yes.
August sometime. And that is going to be even more because Disney owns Marvel. And they'll have a lot more information to drop. Hopefully casting for Fantastic Four, we'll see. Even though somebody asked him about casting for Fantastic Four.
We know who it is. They just haven't said it yet.
We hope that it's John Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
If it's not
but
alright.
I knew that they weren't going to show up at Comic-Con because they're filming
Quiet Place 2.
Quiet Place 2 right now.
Did y'all announce that last week?
No, we did not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, y'all suck.
The way it came out, the news came out after we had filmed.
Yeah.
So I think so. But anyway, so yeah, some of the things we didn't get with Keanu Reeves, of course, casting for X-Men or Wolverine or Fantastic Four, things we hope for. Deadpool announcement. Deadpool 3 should be happening sometime in all this madness. What's up?
I really hope the casting for Wolverine's like the very last thing they say. I would rather see the cast for everybody else first, and then Wolverine. Because it's not the Wolverine show, it's X-Men.
That's true.
No matter how great Hugh Jackman was.
I think that was probably one of the bad things about the last X-Men is that Wolverine completely rewrote the X-Men.
Yep.
Like Scott Summers got the shaft.
The hard shaft. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
He got an adamantium shaft.
He got turned to dust.
So, I guess the rumor right now, Taron Egerton, one of the writers for Marvel, is calling it that Taron Egerton is going to play Wolverine. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's not official, but
it's okay. Though.
Keanu Reeves is petitioning hard for Wolverine, but
I can't give it to you, Keanu.
Yeah. But that's all I got for this. Anything else you want to say about it?
I'm ready for Marvel What If. I want them to do a what if Captain America was evil. That's it.
Yeah, they teased a little bit of that in Endgame where he said Hail Hydra.
Yep.
Are they gonna do like what if this person didn't die?
Possibly.
Yeah,
it could. I mean, anything is game. I mean, like if you zoom in on, we were talking about, if you zoom in on the logo, it's even got like zombie Captain America, which is a huge storyline from the comics.
Yep. Which makes me wonder how dark the show is gonna get, but
I think anything's game because each episode is a one-off, as far as I know.
If Jeff Bridges comes back to voice Obadiah Stern, I'll be cool. Super cool.
Yeah,
yep.
And with David Harbour and them getting into the Russian element and X-Men on the horizon,
David Harbour,
we could get into
Jack,
Omega Red,
Captain America. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, things that we would never have seen, people that haven't met in the MCU, we could see them go at it in this What If series.
So many possibilities and so many
Is
things.
Disney Plus, like, are each of these going to have their own rating? Is Disney Plus its own rating? How's the rating going to go?
I imagine Disney Plus is going to, well, from what I understand, Disney Plus is going to be the more family-friendly centric one, and they're going to do the darker stuff on Hulu because Disney now owns the majority stake in Hulu. There's rumors that they're doing potentially Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Blade.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying, like,
Hulu.
what if can't go that dark, can't go that crazy if it's going to be
yeah, that's true.
Family oriented.
Well, you can get ish. I mean, think about how some of the dark stuff in Endgame. I mean, cutting Thanos' head off in the first 20 minutes. That's a big deal.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of dark.
His little shriveling arm. Yeah, that mess is gross.
Wow, that's a strong arm. Leave it on. So that's it for us, I think. Once again, we'd like to say thank you for joining us by YouTube and or podcast. If you want to keep the conversation going and or support the show, you can. Of course, comment below, but you can also find all that info in the notes or at the website at www.broken.picturesno.com. And don't forget, you can send us a voice message or questions that we can play on the show. Go to www.fm/the FOMO Show to talk to us. YouTube viewers, please like and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon.
Ding.
And you'll get notifications for new videos. And podcast listeners, please leave us 5 stars in your podcast app. And this is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
This is Quin.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.